This is the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney with a quick check on what's going on. So here's my man to get into it.
Good Lord, made it back to the weekend. Thanks for listening. And we'll try to get some rest, but you know we're losing an hour with the change back to daylight saving Saturday night. I'm not losing sleep over it, so any breakfast Sunday morning will really be brunch. I'm sleeping in. Well, it's normally what happens with me anyway, so I don't know why I'm complaining. Zendaya and Tom Holland may have gotten married. Good for them if they did. Cute couple. But why is there a stylist? The stylist is the only one running his mouth about it. Just like those beauty shop stylists, always running their mouths, gossiping. And March Madness, oh, that's around the corner. I really haven't watched too much college basketball this season, but I will make up for it in a couple weeks.
My favorite stories of the day.
Boy, are they. Especially this first one, and I had to rewrite it because I actually wrote it up at first this past weekend when all we knew was the guy got away. Oh, it was a great story then, but he got caught, and the details after that came out. Oh, man, you want to talk about the highest level of randomness? Let's start in the Poconos, mountainous area in Pennsylvania. It's where ABC 6 Action News in Philadelphia is reporting regional police were looking for this local guy who set several fires inside his own townhouse Monday of last week, the 23rd. So when cops say somebody only described as a witness was asking the guy, what was he doing? Killing spiders. The witness said they kept putting out these small fires while dude kept lighting them. It was almost like whack-a-mole or whack-a-fire. And they ended up outside because dude's insistence won out. He burned up his unit and several neighboring townhomes. The witness that was with him ended up calling 911. Meanwhile, the spider killer jumped in a U-Haul truck and drove off. Apparently east, since the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office in North Jersey picks up the story from here. They say he checked into a Residence Inn hotel in the Meadowlands, and Wednesday morning, cleaning staff smelled something burning. They say they went into that room, and he was gone, but they found burning clothes in a pot on the stove. We ain't done. Later last Wednesday, NYPD say they found the U-Haul a couple blocks from Madison Square Park on Manhattan's east side. No accused spider-hating arsonist at that point. He was gone still, so cops checked the U-Haul, say they found 52 canisters of laughing gas. Who knows why? Cops didn't say, and why start asking why now? Dude's already accused of making firefighters spend 8 hours, by the way, putting out a townhouse building fire because he wanted to barbecue spiders, but okay, laughing gas. 52 canisters in a U-Haul truck, but the driver was gone until NYPD officers say they found him Wednesday night in Times Square, where, there are tons of cameras and tons of cops. A police precinct sits right there in the middle. But forgive the 36-year-old for not thinking it all through, since cops say he had a crack pipe in his pocket. And that explains it all, except for the laughing gas. But then again, crackheads will get their hands on anything. In Detroit last Friday night at Little Caesars Arena, for 13 minutes, that scoreboard horn was stuck. 13 minutes of everyone in that arena hearing that. For 13 minutes. A power surge is what the Associated Press is saying that crews think caused the problem and tried their best to unstick the horns for their own ears' sake, but ended up unplugging the whole scoreboard at a point, so at least everyone could unplug their ears at that point in the arena and cheer because fans did want to let the arena staff know they appreciated them turning off that air horn. They cheered all right. And that NBA game between the Pistons and Cavaliers picked up where they left off while the refs used a manual air horn when they restarted, only for a few minutes, though, because the scoreboard powered back up and came back a few minutes after the game restarted, came back without that air horn in everybody's ears. And on Sunday in Atlanta, another sports-related screw-up. Well, no air horns involved here, just a police motorcycle, a media vehicle, and a motorcycle with a photographer shooting video while riding along in front of these top 3 female runners in this past Sunday's USA TF National Half Marathon Championships. And these women, they all trained for this moment since the top 3 finishers earn a spot for the U.S. at the World Half Marathon Championships. So imagine their feelings when those runners, who were the top 3, until realizing that police motorcycle, media vehicle, and motorcycle with the photographer riding along shooting, they had all turned the wrong way off the racist path and led those women off course for about 400 meters before they realized it. And at that point, they then had to run an extra 400 meters to get back on track. Those are the rules. So those three women went from first, second, and third to 9th, 12th, and 13th by the time they finished. We'll never know how the end of that race would have turned out if those women had not been led astray, but because they were, well, if I were them, I'm smacking some drivers. That could have cost them all a chance at winning $20,000. Back in a moment. But before the break, a word from the Jams podcast.
Blazing the best hip-hop, R&B, reggae, soca.
You can download the Jams Podcast Mix for free. Just Google search Jams Podcast Mix.
It's Jams Hour Mix with Greg H.
And shove it up your...
A sweet scent. Leg and Hammer Toe's newest best-smelling laundry detergent ever.
Just keep your nose away from mine.
Available in stores nowhere.
And now for the world around us.
Hey, pet owners, no matter where you are in the world, do not let that pet lick an open wound or a scratch. It turns out to have been something that almost killed a woman in England. Real talk, BBC News is reporting the 56-year-old woman just spent 32 weeks in the hospital before being released and going home 2 weeks ago, February 18th. She had sepsis, and doctors think it came about from her dog that may have licked a small cut or a scratch on her. And that turned into several cardiac arrests, lost her spleen, came down with pneumonia and gallstones, and lost all 4 of her limbs. No hands, no feet, all amputated. Medics at a point thought the woman would likely die, but she pulled through. I mean, she'll need a wheelchair. Still, told the BBC she hopes her cautionary tale will help keep people on guard and not let pets get the licking all on you, especially if the pet is licking close to an open wound or sore. Never forget that at this point. Yeah, lady, for her part, she's trying to rebuild her life without legs, feet, hands, raising money on GoFundMe to buy prosthetics, and says after all that time in a hospital bed with no limbs to walk or grab something, she cannot wait to walk again, this time on prosthetics. Hey, no dog, cat, or any other pet can infect a prosthetic, at least. Well, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, lately, groups of teenagers have been meeting up wearing animal masks and crawling around acting like they're the animal they're pretending to be. The Associated Press caught up with one of these groups on a recent Sunday and observed somebody wearing a fox mask, another rocking a cat mask. They both climbed up into a tree and sat on branches because, fox and a cat. What I guess they would do. Do foxes climb it? I don't know. But the cosplaying teenagers even say now that they identify with their spirit animal. A 16-year-old who wore a seal mask to that Sunday meetup told the AP that it actually is not necessarily about identifying with the animal, just identifying enough to identify with all the other teens looking for a place to identify and feel accepted, by wearing animal masks and hopping around acting like the animals that they're pretending to be. And we'll stay with the animal theme because in Australia, somebody got up for a midnight trip to the bathroom and found a python snake was already in there. Excuse me, I'll just step out until you're done. They called Sunshine Coast Snake Catchers 24/7. Their phone number must be posted on a lot of refrigerators around Australia. And the snake catchers came out last Thursday night, slid open the bathroom door, and shot video of the carpet python, they said it was. It was right there on the floor, just standing still right at the door. I don't know if it was slithering. I couldn't hear that part, but they did post the video on Instagram and pulled out his snake catching gear, caught that python, took it somewhere safe to release back into nature. And speaking of nature, hopefully it was still calling whoever wanted to go use the bathroom until finding it was already occupied. Back in
Not to break, which connect to the bars for maximum resistance up to 5 pounds.
I'm being pranked, right?
And 2 all-natural 5-pound stones for upper body workouts. Or split the compact stones in your pockets for a power walk.
A power walk? Some rocks in my pocket? And 2 rubber bands and 2 sticks?
The workout kit. Portable and light. Hundreds of workouts, the possibilities are endless. Only $49.99 if you order today. 212-555-5555.
No, this is really what's Nigel's kit.
The workout kit. 212-555-5555.
Baby, do you really love me?
Call now. $99 shipping and handling added to cost.
Boy, bye.
What's up with what's going down, though?
A man is only as faithful as his options. Pretty sure that I love that line. I think it was Chris Rock that had it in one of his stand-ups back in the 90s. And it came to mind after I saw this New York Post story on a new study from a polyamorous dating site called Sister Wives. That led to a couple questions right off the bat. One, polyamorous? I mean, aren't all dating sites polyamorous at first? And two, Sister Wives. I mean, the literal name itself, Sister Wives, that had me confused in a family tree sense. Then ran an internet search for the site. That just confused me even more, since Sister Wives, that's also the name of some reality show on TLC. But okay, the polyamorous dating site. And then it clicked. Once I clicked on the dating site link, Sister Wives, polygamy, I get it. But apparently not getting it as much as poly couples in my home state of Texas, California, Florida, Georgia, and New York. Those are ranked in order as the top 5 most polyamorous states in the U.S. Shouldn't be surprised at all about New York. I've seen some freaky deaky things since I've been here, including this one club. There was one in Brooklyn they called the House of Yes. No, I've never been to the House of Yes, but yes, I was curious enough to look it up. I think the website might still be up. Check it out. But anyway, this dating website hired a research firm to do the study, and they did by looking at the Google search data of 15,000 Sister Wives users to see how often they asked intimate poly-related questions in searches, which, I don't know, could say something about how poly-curious that searcher is, but could also just say they were watching that Sister Wives show on TLC and had a few questions.
I didn't want your dirty mama, girl. Your dirty mama wanted me, yeah. What's the name of that thing, baby? It sure is good to me, yeah. What's the name of that thing, baby? Don't give up.
And that is that for another Real Pod Newscast. Thanks as always for listening, and please follow the show if you haven't already, and please follow the show on social media too if you haven't already. Clips from the show and extra clips, they're always posted on the Instagram, TikTok, and all, and credits for the songs that I ran between the stories. Yeah, I post those on the show's Facebook page whenever I get around to them. But hey, conference tournament time, basketball, let March Madness begin. Have a great weekend, everybody. Back on Tuesday.
This has been the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney from Show Enough Productions. And for more, hit up the website, realpodnewscast.com. That's real with 2 E's. This is Big Daddy Marty Allen. Thanks for listening.
Y'all hear the horn?
Yeah, the horn is stuck. Yeah, the horn is stuck. I don't think they wanted you to do the interview, Donovan.
Show enough.